What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I am Andrew, CEO of UXPin. I'm a non-technical CEO, and I'm going through a journey with different tools. And the first one being, of course, UXPin. Whilst I am the CEO, I have had zero hands-on experience as I only took over the company a couple of months ago. So I'm going through the journey like everybody else. So the main output here is to find improvements, but also to explore the tool to see how we can best improve it for people like me who are non-technical and want to be able to design and prototype. So in the last video, we just went through the sign-up flow, how to create a trial account. We looked at some of the support docs and vids, and today we're actually going to jump in and start designing. So I've done a little bit of cheating because I am in no way, shape, or form creative or technical. So I have used an existing style guide from Teamgate CRM, which I used to be the CEO of, just to break out the colors. And then I can refer back to this section to steal some of these prompts, which I'm going to feed into UXPin. So today I'm going to go through the AI component creator specifically. So we're going to do some prompting, and then also we're going to try with sketches, see what the output is. And then we can look at how we would do it manually if we were to not use the AI component creator. So what I'm going to do is, in the future, UXPin plans to release a marketplace for designers and developers. So we're going to see if we can design a marketplace landing page and see what we can come up with. So what I've done is I've jumped on and looked at some websites around marketplaces. So this one and a couple of others, just to sort of see best practices. So most of them have the header, the hero, the content section, and then obviously the footer, similar over here. So what I've done is basically ask ChatGPT, hey, what are the key components for a marketplace? And this is what it spat out. So and go back into UXPin, looking at our canvas. I've created 3 pages, so AI prompted, AI sketch, and then manual. So we're just going to see what we can generate. So if I go into the AI component creator, I'm going to paste, here's the sections that I want. So what I'm going to say is something simple. So let's say, help me create a landing page for a website focus for a designer marketplace website. It should include, and then those sections there. We'll keep it pretty simple. See what it comes back with. Hopefully it's pretty good, so I don't have to do much manual work. And what we found is, since implementing this component creator has been great for, especially for technical founders and also developers who might not have that creative spark to start somewhere, but they just want to rapidly get something shipped. So they can start with the component creator, and they're really good at iteration. So once they've got that start state, they can iterate it, and then they can replicate it. And that's probably the biggest difference from a Lovable or something like that. They can generate really good outputs, but it's repeating the styling, the padding, and the like as they create more and more pages or websites or whatever it is. So as this is thinking, we can use a couple of different models. So we've just implemented Claude into the component creator. Previously, it was just OpenAI, but we've actually seen some really good results with Claude since implementing that. So hopefully we can show you what that looks like in a second here once it's generated. Bit of a long prompt, so it's probably for the designers and developers out there, they're probably going to do, they might start with the header and go from there. But you can see here it has dumped something out. Looks like a couple of broken images, so that's something worth noting. But we've got our header, got some buttons, got a sign in, sign up. We've got our hero section, a placeholder for an image. We've got a couple of images here. Looks like they're open source images, so they just might be broken and they'll probably load at some stage. We've got some social proofing, some FAQs, and then our footer. So again, this is a pretty good start state, right? So for someone like me, I'd probably just go, okay, cool. Hey, developer, crack on. But for you guys following along, you'll probably go out and build out these iterations. So what I am going to quickly do is just jump into the preview mode. see what it looks like. So all I did there was hit the get code button. It's gone into the preview, so I can simulate it. So I can actually click on these buttons, see what they do, and this is where I can start building out the iterations. So if you've got linked pages and you want to click on products and it takes you to the product page, that's great. As I said, these images look broken. I'll look into that as we jump off the call. But if this all looks good, obviously we're not gonna just ship this, but if we were, we could hit the get code button. We can open the code, we can download the code, or we can copy it to the clipboard. So if this was your final design and you wanted to get amongst it, you could. The other thing, we could jump in here and say, hey, hey developer, this image is broken, replace it with X, Y, and Z. Add that comment and they'll be able to see that when they come in. What I'm going to do is hit open code because I have no clue whether this is going to run. So what it's done is exported the code to Sandbox. I don't have a Sandbox account, so I don't even know if this will work. Looks like it will. And I've got some plugin here. And there's your landing page. Beautiful. So if we go back, we want to edit the prototype. Pretty stock standard, right? So we can see on the left-hand side here, we have all of our layers. So we can go through and we can change certain layers. The other handy thing that I found in the support videos is if you hold Command for Mac, it's probably Control for Windows, and you hover, you can actually skip and go straight to the individual components. So let's say I want to change about to blog. I can do that really easily. All right, so that's our prompted output. Let's have a look at what we can do. If we go back to ChatGPT, let's ask it to, so it's got a kind of a sketch there. Can you provide a rough sketch of what the landing page would look like? Now, of course, if you want to take inspiration from maybe your competitors' websites or websites using best practices or might be a leader in your industry, you can, of course, go and take some screenshots, apply your own styling, obviously, and your own color schemes. But we'll start with a sketch here, see what it looks like. And then we'll see the difference when we go through. And then the other thing I might do, just while I'm waiting for that image, I'm going to steal the color palette for TeamGate because this will come important when we go to the manual side of the house. So while we're waiting here, I'm going to go back into UXPin. I'm going to go to the manual and I'm going to say, create me a theme customizer with the following. And then I'm going to dump my color schemes and all that in there. That'll create a component. And then that way, as I'm starting to build out headers and footers and things like that, I can actually use the branded color schemes and typography and things like that that I've brought across from my TeamGate marketing guide. So there it is there. So this will just sort of stay to the side. Not too important at the moment, but this will help me change the colors. But if I go back into my sketch, hopefully ChatGPT's done its thing, which it has. So let's download this. And then let's go and create another prompt. So with our sketch, say, help me design a landing page for a designer marketplace website. See attached sketch. And then I'll attach the sketch. I could potentially say use the below colors. And then I've included a couple of colors there. That should be enough. Hopefully that prompt isn't too long. Might get moody and not want to work for me, but hopefully it's all good. It's probably not helping that I keep moving around stuff. It's probably slowing it down even more. I'll copy this in case it doesn't work because I've annoyed it. And where this would become handy, obviously, is designers who can actually design and draw. They might sketch something up, or even non-technical people like me might go to ChatGPT or Paint and start building out just a rough layout, and then take that sketch across and use it. And of course, like I said prior, if you want to use competitors and things like that. All right, so here we go. This is what it's created. Let's zoom out a little bit. We've got a similar layout, social proving, probably not as neat. It's got some pricing, but what we can see is it's applied that styling that I've asked for. So it's got our company styling. So not bad with the sketch. I would probably make some changes here. Obviously, there's a bit of a weird button over there. So I'll get rid of that. You can go and add your logos, change the hero image, these broken open source images, and go from there. Again, you can go through and preview it. You can export the code if you want to, but you're probably going to spend more time going through and iterating that. The last thing I want to quickly look at is manual. So obviously, we've got the theme customizer, which I just created. So that's going to help me keep it in the colors that we want it to be in. So if we go back, we could go through section by section, creating different things. So header, if I go into our components, and I'm going to use the MUI components now instead of actually using AI, that's probably not what I want. I probably actually want, I don't know what they're called, but I believe it's all the designers and developers out there probably having a meltdown watching me do this. But let's look at, not that. I'm going to say app bar. I'm going to use an app bar. I want to go back to all. The other thing I can use is the patterns. So if I come in here, what do we got in here? Some accordions, app bars. This is probably what I want to use, right? Yep. It's got an app bar. A couple of different options there. And I'm going to use this one here. Let's delete the other ones. Now, if you're like me and you have no idea what the names are for any of this stuff, you can jump into the MUI website. So if you go into, click on any component, you can actually click on this little button here and it will take you to their documentation, and you'll be able to actually see what's what and read and understand more information here than what I would understand. So header is here. Now we probably want to start to generate the hero image, things like that. We know that we're probably going to want some cards at some stage. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Now, what I've probably skipped, and it's probably why it's not really working for me, is I probably need to put a container around this sort of stuff, which I don't really know much about, but that's fine. What I'm going to do is not that. I'm going to spread it out somehow. God. If anyone's out there that needs a designer, don't ring me. Okay. I would say that they need to be nested under a container. That's probably why it's not working for me. And then you could do all of your spacing and the like. Anyway. Let's go back to MUI components, put a container in. And then that way I can put my app bar within that container. If we look at the container itself, I can probably put it up here. And there's some setting around it's not the width. Disable gutters, this is the one. There you go. So now it's going to run the whole way. That's kind of gross. I assume we would probably need to do a new card. A new container. All right. Hopefully you guys get the point. I'm not going to bore you anymore with me trying to work out how to design because I don't know what I am doing. There we go. So I can resize these now that they're not in that container. But you get the point. So everyone out there, designers, developers, your jobs are safe. I'm not coming to take them. But you can see here, for me, with my skill set, I'm probably going to start here, right? And now I'm going to go and start to build out interactions, on click. What are we going to do? Are we going to go to another page? Or are we going to scroll? What are we going to do here? We're going to show alerts that say, hey, this feature doesn't exist yet. So for someone like me, I'm probably going to start either with the prompted or the sketch. Okay. For those that need more complex designs, styling and things like that, you can also start with a prompt. Otherwise, you can come through and manually start creating yours with, your coded components from your library of choice. Okay, so I was playing with MUI today. We've obviously got a bunch of different other libraries. You can also bring in your own custom libraries. So hopefully that helps. Over the weekend, I'm going to go and do some more reviewing of the support documentation and videos, so that next week I can come back and actually start building out. Probably for the prompted one, we'll start here since we've already got a pretty nice design. We'll start building out some interactions and see what we can do with responsiveness for things like mobile and the like. That's it from me, guys. If you want to follow along, as I said previously, feel free to like and subscribe. Let us know in the comment section what you want to see. If you want access to our document that we're tracking for improvements for the platform, feel free to comment below and I'll give you access to that. And you can also add some recommendations if you like as well. Until then, have a great weekend and I will see you on the next one.